Have you ever had this experience? You know the words, you understand English when you read it, you can even remember useful phrases like, I'd like a coffee please, could you tell me where the station is? But when it's time to actually speak, your brain freezes. You start translating from your native language, searching for words, rearranging them in your head, and by the time when you're ready to speak, the conversation has already moved on. If that sounds familiar, you're not missing words, you are missing something much more important. One of the biggest myths in language learning is that fluency comes from learning more words. Another common belief is that memorizing ready-made dialogues, like ordering coffee or checking into a hotel, will somehow make you conversational. The problem is, real conversations don't follow scripts. People don't always ask the questions you've prepared for, and life isn't a series of coffee orders. What actually makes people fluent is their ability to connect ideas quickly and naturally, and that depends on linkers and sentence building constructions. Let's imagine you know these words: tired, late, work, stay, home. Great, you know the vocabulary. Can you immediately say, I stayed home because I was tired after working late? Many learners can't, not because they don't know the words, but because they haven't practiced the structures that connect those words together. So instead, their brain tries to translate everything from their first language. Fluent speakers don't build sentences word by word, they build them through patterns. Think about expressions like this: because of, even though, instead of, in order to, not only but also, if I were you, it depends on, that's why, the reason is that. There aren't just vocabulary items. They are tools. They are sentence building tools. Once you learn them well, you can create thousands of sentences without translating. For example, instead of thinking, need improve English, you naturally say, I'm practicing every day in order to improve my English. The vocabulary isn't particularly difficult. The construction does the heavy lifting. This is why I'm not a huge fan of learning just situational phrases. Of course, useful phrases can help beginners, but if your study plan consists entirely of things like how to order coffee, how to book a hotel, how to introduce yourself, you're just learning isolated islands of language. Fluency happens between those islands. It's the language that connects ideas. For example, I wanted to go out, but it started raining, so I decided to stay home instead. This is the kind of sentence people use every day, and it's built almost entirely from connectors. Native speakers rarely think about individual words, they think in chunks. They automatically access structures such as, on the other hand, the thing is, it turns out that, as far as I know, what I mean is, the reason why. These chunks buy them time, they organize their thoughts, they make speech flow naturally. And the good news is that you can learn them too. In fact, learning 100 high-frequency linkers and constructions will often improve your fluency more than learning 1,000 random vocabulary words. So, if you want to speak more fluently, don't just collect words. Start collecting sentence builders. Every time you learn a new construction, create 5 to 10 examples of your own. Practice speaking with it. Notice it in videos, podcasts, books, and conversations. The goal isn't to memorize sentences. The goal is to master the patterns that create sentences. And that's when English starts feeling less like translation and more like communication. If you'd like to practice linkers and sentence building constructions we've talked about in this video, I've prepared a free worksheet that you can download from my website. You will find the links in the description below. And if you want short daily lessons on linkers, connectors, and the words that can make your sentences sound more natural and cohesive, follow me on Instagram. I regularly post reels with practical examples that you can immediately start using in your own English. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.